Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 laps and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. It is officially 1 week until kickoff. 1 week until football time in Tennessee. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. Our telephone number is 865-255-03. If you want to get in on the conversation today, Ben, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Jason Swain, the GOAT, who had 1,721 receiving yards in his career for the Tennessee Vols. A little extra pep in the step when you know, A, we get Maryville Powell tonight on Rivalry Thursday. You'll be on the call. And
on the radio side.
That's right. Not only do we get Maryville Powell, but like you just said, 7 days away. We are Casey Clausen days away from it being football time in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Or Deion Grant.
That's right. That's right. Two legends. Both are legends in my book. But you are right.
We're Rashawn Golden days away too, baby.
Wrong finger.
Oh, what? Really? Isn't this how you flick people off in French with the pinky?
That was your pinky. Oh, man. I know how to flip people off the normal way.
Go ahead, do it then.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to say that for I-40. Get out of the way. No, actually, I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that, man. I don't mess with folks on the road, man. I don't deal with road rage. You want to cut in front of me? Go ahead. You having a bad day. Go ahead. I hope it's better. I don't mess on the road. But, yeah, man, Powell and Maryville tonight. Powell got some players, man. Maryville got a couple players. And
Maryville's decent at football.
Yeah. They're all right. They're all right. They just win state championships and beat teams 45-0 the opening week and pretty much shut the game down in the first half. Powell got a big-time test in that first game against Anderson County. But, hey, man, this is all about it's about Walter Dolan. Tennessee's in the top 3. And that's going to be interesting recruitment. I thought we was going to get commitment yesterday. What happened?
He's at 11,000 followers on Instagram.
I thought he was getting a commitment. He said he was going to commit once he gets to 11,000 followers. What happened? We've been through this before as a fan base.
Who the last one that had this particular vibe was Torrance Gibson. And when I say vibe, I'm referring to the last kid who was like, well, I guess it was DWA, Dominic Wood Anderson. Dominic Wood Anderson and Torrance Gibson were the last two guys that were on social media tweeting, once I get to this amount of followers, I'll tweet the school that I'm committing to. Whichever school likes my photo the most, I will commit to that school. That's what I mean when I say vibe. I shouldn't say that Walter Nolan is acting like Torrance Gibson. That's poor explanation on my part, because Walter Nolan is not acting like Torrance Gibson.
No, I mean, he's enjoying himself and, you know, enjoying the attention. All attention is not good attention. I will say that if I were to offer any advice there. Another piece of advice is that you're not going to keep all those followers. Like, you can get 100,000 followers from those 3 schools, your top 3. But once you pick a school, those fans are not going to continue to follow you. They don't want to see you rocking the opposing team's colors. So that's one thing that I have learned sitting back and seeing how schools use recruiting, is that it doesn't last. Now, 2014, man, it was pretty cool to see how Tennessee fans use Twitter in conjunction with the Tennessee football program's efforts to recruit that season. I mean, that was a lot of momentum, a lot of participation from the fans, and it mattered. But I just don't think we're going to see that again. But anyways, Tennessee's in the top 3. Walter Nolan plays tonight. I'll be there. You'll be there. It will be on the interwebs. It'll be streamed, so people will get a chance to check that out. Or if you live here locally, you will get a chance to watch it on my VLT. Yes, Ben.
I have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Second bone of the week I'm picking with you. First,
all right, what's up?
You don't want to say go Vols back to Josh Heupel.
What's on your mind?
How is it that you and VolQuest, you and Austin Price and Brent Hubbs can team up and get a backup quarterback to do a radio show with throughout football season? Don't you know that Harrison Bailey is going to be the starting quarterback and Hendon Hooker is QB2? I mean, just what kind of decision making are you working with when you're going with Joe Milton? I mean, come on. Did you not watch the film of him at Michigan? Did you not see what he did at Michigan? I mean, why would you run with Joe Milton?
Just a hunch.
Just a hunch, huh?
Yeah, man, just a hunch. I'll say that.
But Josh Heupel said this week that it is still an equal quarterback battle.
That's cool. Just a hunch on my part. I may be wrong, but
now we know why Cade is going to be on the show. That's Austin's nephew. But Joe Milton, really, when Harrison Bailey is on the roster? I think Brian Maurer's still in town too.
Man, pushing it. Pushing it.
No, but this is really cool. I don't want to speak for you, but if you missed the announcement yesterday on social media, Swain, VolQuest, and Spry Sports Group are launching a weekly broadcast.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. It's been in the works for a couple weeks. Probably what's this month? This is August, or almost September. Yeah, a couple weeks. When we look at the landscape of the NIL, and you see players across the country, schools across the country, and I won't say schools because schools are not technically allowed to generate deals, but players across the country getting deals, and we've talked about Knoxville itself leading up to July 1st of being one of the cities that is going to do a great job with NIL. But we also said, well, it's going to be a little bit harder because it's not like you have a ton of star power on the football team either right now. Now, that may change after week 2, week 3, week 1, I don't know. But, like, going into this season, there's not a lot of firepower, star power. But the quarterback at the University of Tennessee, they're always a star.
It is.
Unless you play bad.
Maybe this is an off-season conversation. Maybe it's a conversation to store away for later in the show or tomorrow or early next week before we really get into game day prep. Where do you think the starting quarterback job at Tennessee ranks among college football jobs? Because like the Alabama quarterback, the Oklahoma quarterback, the Clemson quarterback, I mean, those are like the top of the top at the moment. Ohio State quarterback, I'd throw that in there as well. But I don't think you'd go too far down the list before you got to the Tennessee starting quarterback job. Just all the pressure that comes with it. I know Tennessee hasn't been winning, so maybe people nationally won't recognize the job the way that it should be recognized. But just with the following that Tennessee football has, I mean, I think it's a top 10 at minimum type of job in college football.
Yeah, when you're the quarterback at Tennessee, it's just different. I mean, it is – you have some of the same flair about you, the same interest in you as – or if not more than politicians or NFL players that play for the Titans. I mean, it is that big of a deal.
More people care about the starting quarterback at Tennessee than the starting quarterback for the Titans.
Yep.
More people care about the starting quarterback job at Tennessee more than the starting goalie for the Nashville Predators, the starting point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies.
You mean the point guard that's living up on the Memphis Tigers?
He's been living up on the Vols more this offseason.
I just saw what he said yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said plenty about Kennedy Chandler. And
I saw you say anything about Kennedy Chandler yesterday.
Oh,
yesterday,
please.
I saw him living up on Amani Bates.
I mean, what do you expect?
Who
He's in
picked
the same
Memphis?
city. You think I like it? You think I like it? I don't like it.
I know you don't like it.
So don't throw that in my face, sir.
I know you don't
Kennedy's been tweeted at all off season long by Ja. Ja's obviously a bigger superstar than any Tennessee athlete, University of Tennessee athlete.
Correct.
On a national scale. But in terms of within this state, I mean, the Tennessee quarterback job, I mean, you said it even better than my examples of other teams within the state. I mean, it's more popular of a job, a position to hold. I guess we should say instead of job, although I guess Joe Milton's getting paid now. I mean, it's more popular than political roles throughout the state.
Hey man, Joe Milton may be getting paid, but you could be popular, you could be famous, or you could be paid. And I think the people that live in that reality TV world would understand what I'm saying. Just because you're on TV don't mean you're getting paid. Just because you got attention don't mean you're getting paid. There's folks that you wouldn't know have a big bank by how they dress and how they keep their name out of the spotlight. But Joe Milton has an opportunity. Joe Milton has an opportunity. And listen, man, there's a reason why Joe Milton and Cade Mays are doing our show named Tennessee Prime. And it will debut Tuesday, 7 p.m. at Gus's Fried Chicken on Sutherland Avenue. And I encourage people to come out and get some chicken and hang out. There will be a video broadcast that will be on the Swain Event YouTube page, the Rivals VolQuest YouTube page. We'll also push it out on my Twitter, but we'll push it out everywhere. It'll also be on the app, the Swain Event app. So that broadcast will be starting on Tuesday, and it'll be every Tuesday until the end of the season. And Joe Milton, it'll be Cade Mays, and there may be some other guys during the course of the season, but the main two guys, Joe Milton and Cade Mays. So I'm excited about that. I've never met Cade Mays. I've never met Joe Milton. I've just only seen those guys in passing and watched them at practice. But the hope that these guys will tear it up during the season, and you want to pick guys who are mature, that on a Tuesday can go out and do things like this and handle their business in the classroom and handle their business on the practice field. So that'll be a distraction. And that's really my number one focus, man. I want these guys to be able to put that work in on the football field, take care of business on the football field, in the classroom, and this is kind of secondary for them, or third for them. We love that we put these gentlemen in a position and have an opportunity to capitalize off their name and image and likeness. So very proud to be a part of what we're doing, and I'm very happy to be a part of something that's going to give the fans something they want. I think it's a win-win really for everyone. I don't know if you're a coach, you necessarily thrilled about your players.
I wouldn't be
doing something opposite of in the film room, but this is the day and age we live in, and coaches are going to embrace this. You just want your mature individuals and guys that can handle it. You want those guys doing it, and I think we picked two guys that will be awesome. So Tuesday, we'll start the show at 7 p.m. That'll be on VolQuest YouTube's page, Swain Event's YouTube page, and then on the Swain Event app. So,
and on the flip side of coaches maybe not liking this, they can use it. They can use it in recruiting. Don't tell me that Josh Heupel, Alex Golish, Joey Halsley, one of the three, if not all three, are pointing this out to Taven Jackson.
I mean, we just try to take care of our own. That's all.
You can't tell me that they are not sending this to Taven Jackson, which Taven Jackson is already firmly in the boat. So I don't know that it'll move the needle for him a ton, but there are other quarterbacks that Tennessee is still evaluating.
Just players in general.
For the classes in the future. Yes, but I think it's even more significant that Joe Milton is involved, because Tennessee's got to get the quarterback position solved quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I guarantee you they are selling this to the quarterbacks that they are in conversations with, and if they aren't, then oh boy.
865-255-03. We'll take our first break of the day. Hour one is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Be right back.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty.
They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work-from-anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Let's get to the Irish Networks hotline. Let's bring in Hunter. Hunter, good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you?
What's up? We are fantastic.
I got two questions this morning.
Okay.
First one is, this one's not really Tennessee related, but do y'all think that somebody will get over the Nick Saban hump this year, either Jimbo or Kirby? And then my second question is, off our schedule, Tennessee's schedule, do you think there's a game we'll win that we shouldn't win this year?
Those are two really good questions.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the Nick Saban hump, which would be just beating him, period, in the regular season?
I guess one of his former assistants have never beaten him. Isn't that the stat that none of his? Yes, that is the stat that none of his former assistants that are now head coaches had never beaten him. So,
I mean,
you got Jimbo, you've got Lane. That's it. That's currently on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has an opportunity, it would be Jimbo and Kirby, but I don't, y'all know how I feel. I don't trust Kirby.
Well, and Georgia's had a lot of issues in fall camp. Injuries, distractions with Scott Cochran, Eric Gilbert. So Georgia's still going to win the East. Even
they should.
That's how I would be very, very surprised. I'm not buying into Florida. Again, I don't think Florida's going to be a bad football team. I just don't think that they are an SEC East level football team, and I think the East being bad, being down, is going to make them look better than what they actually are. So I would be surprised, even if with all the unfortunate circumstances that Georgia has had to deal with this fall camp and all the drama, I'd be surprised if still Florida was able to edge them out to win the East. Kentucky would be the only other team that has any type of chance, and that would be an absolute miracle if Kentucky could pull that off. I would not predict that in a million years. So I say all that to say that I don't see. I mean, I guess Georgia's going to get a crack at Alabama in the SEC championship game, but by then, reports out of Tuscaloosa are that the defense is just destroying the offense, and part of that is because they return a ton of guys on defense and they have a bunch of newness on offense. But by the time Alabama would play Georgia, theoretically Nick Saban would have his offense rocking and rolling by the first weekend of December with Bryce Young. So if Alabama were to win the West and make it to Atlanta, I don't see Georgia beating them. So I think if a former Nick Saban assistant were to beat him this year, I think it would be Jimbo. I'm not buying the Lane train. I mean, he'll put up a bunch of points this year. He'll win his 5 or 6 football games, maybe 7, because now the 3 cupcake games are back after the COVID-shortened season last year. But that defense is still going to be butt booty terrible.
I mean, this is the year. This is as good of a year of any if you're going to do it. If you are one of Nick Saban's former assistants, I mean, they lost a lot of players on offense, and yes, they got good players, but they're unproven players that have to fill in for Matt Jones and some of those receivers. So they'll still be good. They'll still be talented, but there's a little small opening, and for Georgia, for Ole Miss, for Jimbo. So.
A&M's going to be good this year.
Calling my shot and saying yes or no right now, I'll probably say no. But as far as which team, Tennessee, or will Tennessee be a team they're not supposed to beat? Well, I think it depends a lot on perception of what teams do you feel Tennessee should beat. Because I think a lot of people will look at the Kentucky-Tennessee game and go, well, Tennessee's supposed to beat Kentucky. Well, not today. Not today they're not supposed to. Kentucky today appears to be the better football team on paper today. Now, once we get closer to that game, November the 6th, and Tennessee proves to be a better football team than Kentucky falls off, the cliff or something, then that's a different conversation. But like today, that's the game I'm looking at. I'm not looking at Tennessee, South Carolina, because I think both teams are pretty even. Tennessee, Missouri, Tennessee, Florida. I mean, Tennessee has not beaten Florida consistently. 2016 was the last time, and had plenty of opportunities before then, just allowed them to slip away and get the win. But no, I think the Tennessee-Kentucky game is the game that I'm looking at today, is the game that Tennessee's not supposed to necessarily win, but they have a chance to win. That's the game I'm looking at. Pitt is going to be the underdog against Tennessee right now, so I'm not really looking at that game either.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's Florida or Kentucky for me. I think those are the 2 opportunities for Tennessee to win a game, to beat an opponent that going into the season from an SEC level, from a national level, people aren't expecting Tennessee to win those 2 games. I know it's not very fun to hear that Kentucky is the team that Tennessee on paper isn't supposed to beat going into the season, and that is a game that they could win. I know that's not fun to hear. It's not fun to say, not fun to discuss, and I'm sure we'll get comment on the text box about Tennessee always beating Kentucky, and that is true. Aside from 2 seasons in 9 years for Mark Stoops, Tennessee has been his kryptonite. But I hate that line, that talking point, because what Tennessee did to Kentucky 45 years ago has nothing to do with this year's game. What they did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last season's game, none of those games have anything to do with what will take place this year. But that is the game that I would circle. And again, Florida, I'm not buying into them. Emory Jones is going to have to prove that he can throw the football for me to think that they're actually going to get to that 10-win mark this season. And I just don't see Florida's defense getting better.
Still can beat us though.
Yes, yes. And like I've said multiple times this month and kind of around SEC Media Days, I don't think Florida is going to be a bad football team, but the standard at Florida is 10 wins, competing to get to Atlanta, competing for a national championship, and I don't see this Florida team being that.
Are you answering Hunter's question, or are you just speaking in general?
I thought I was showing my work. My answer is Kentucky and Florida. Those are the 2 that I would circle that nobody's picking Tennessee to win on paper going into the season, that I think Tennessee has a chance to win, that nobody thinks that they would.
Gotcha.
And I was showing my work by explaining why I think Florida is a gettable game, because I don't think Emory Jones is all that, and I don't think the defense, which was miserable last year, I don't think it improved. You bring back the same defensive coordinator. You have kind of the same guys in place. You even lose a guy in the secondary that was a top draft pick. I just don't see it with Florida.
Honestly, I don't care if Florida is winning the East or about to win the East or not winning the East. Tennessee has still had trouble beating Florida. So yeah, I don't think Florida has the inside track to win the East, but they still beating us consistently. So
absolutely,
that's a game where I'm not going to sit here and say that Tennessee doesn't have a chance to win. There's a quarterback there that is definitely not Kyle Trask, and I think there's been some question marks around him. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that game plays out, but I'm not going to be picking Tennessee in that game unless there's a huge development, which there won't be. I won't be picking Tennessee in that game. We got to prove it. All right, let's see here. Feels like it's between Tennessee and A&M for Walter Nolan. We'll see, man. It's always weird when you have Georgia in the mix. T. Gamble says, silly question, but whatever happened to D'Angelo Gibbs? That's not a silly question. I'm wondering the same thing. What happened to D'Angelo Gibbs, man? I remember being so excited about him transferring over from Georgia, but he never even played it down for us. He was great in practice. This is last year supposed to be a year he was eligible, and it just didn't work out. He decided to opt out, and he has some family members severely affected by COVID. And I don't even know if he's playing football. I don't know if he's on a football team.
I never saw him resurface.
Yeah, so let's see here. ATL VFL said, what makes Kentucky better? Honest question. They have a proven offensive line. They got Mark Stoops and company has done a great job of developing talent. They don't lose folks, and they went out and had one of the better off seasons as far as the transfer portal. So you couple that with how great of a job they developed and the additions that they've made. Yeah, you look at their depth and you look at their offensive line. Right now, on paper, they're a better football team. That doesn't mean that Tennessee's going to win or lose. It doesn't matter because Tennessee doesn't play them until November the 6th. But right now, on paper, it's the reason why Tennessee is picked where they picked and Kentucky is picked where they picked. On paper, they're better. They have talent, developed talent, and they have depth. The only thing that will be holding them back is the quarterback position, which is what held them back when they were ranked 11th in the country. They came in here and got both cheeks slapped by Tennessee. That's what held them back. It was the quarterback position. So if they get the quarterback position handled, then they can be pretty good. Let's see. Colorado Vol says, "Are you guys into fantasy football? If so, who's your number one overall pick?" I just don't have time to do fantasy football.
It's not really time consuming.
I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to do anything else.
What do you do while you sit on the toilet?
Stroll to Twitter.
Why can't you take 5-10 minutes to set your lineup for the week while you sit on the toilet?
Because then you have to go and see who's injured. You have to. Nope, I don't have time for
that. I get it.
They have TV shows for fantasy. You can't tell me it's only 5 minutes. There's a draft.
Fantasy football isn't that time consuming. The draft, I mean, it'll take an hour and a half, 2 hours out of your time, but that's once. You only have to do the draft once, and then it's honestly not that time consuming. Obviously, depending on the person, some people want to put in a lot of research. Like Brad Matthews and we both play fantasy football, fantasy baseball, and our level of commitment is different. Brad is constantly putting in research and trying to find ways to better his team, and I do as well, but it's much more on the fly for me. If I'm stuck in traffic or in line somewhere and at a store while the wife is shopping, then that's kind of when I'll pull out my phone and set it. But I'd say always go. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes is available, take Patrick Mahomes. I had a buddy ask me about advice for fantasy football, like the first 2 or 3 rounds that he was doing, and my advice is always to go running back heavy off the top, just because there's not a lot of great running backs to go with after the Christian McCaffreys and Alvin Kamara's and all that is gone.
Yeah, you might got some time. I ain't have any extra time. 3 kids, a dog. We just add another show, and actually not done yet. There's some more stuff coming. So, I'm good, man. I'll let y'all do it. I'll be happy when y'all win y'all's league. Ben, you win the trophy, win your league, win some money. I'll be your biggest cheerleader, Ben.
Because you're a bad fan.
I guess I'll be a bad fan, man. I'll watch it, but I
the other McKee puts it perfectly. Fantasy baseball, it sucks your time away. Fantasy football takes about 5 minutes every week.
Nope, don't got it.
Yes, you do.
Let's get Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
First of all, congratulations, brother.
Oh, thanks. What'd I do?
Well, you're going to be in prime time.
Prime time?
Yeah. Yeah. I may see that. What kind of chicken place you guys having? It's going to be sponsored by some kind of chicken place. They got a good nana pudding.
The show's going to be at Gus's Fried Chicken on Southern Avenue.
Never heard of that place. Is it good?
Yeah, fried chicken. Yeah, it's good.
I didn't know how good the chicken was.
It's a staple in West Tennessee, and I remember having it in Memphis when I used to do combines across the country. We did one in Memphis, hit up Gus's, and they opened on Southern a couple of years ago, and it's really good. Yeah.
They have a good chocolate chess pie. You can get a slice of chocolate chess pie with vanilla ice cream on top, and the chocolate chess pie is nice and warm, and the ice cream melts. It all melts together. It's very delicious.
Yeah. So we'll be doing the show there.
Pudding.
No.
So we'll be doing the show there at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. So yeah, technically it is called Tennessee Prime Time, and Tennessee Prime is just short for Prime Time. But yeah, it is a prime time show because it's in the evening, 7 p.m.
There you go. I'm excited for you. I'm excited. Hey, the thing tonight, I've been meaning to ask, and I forget every time.
Mm-hmm.
But T. Hodge, is he going to be changing positions? Is he going to make it? You don't hear nothing from him. Is he injured?
I mean, that has been. Go ahead.
He's on the depth chart because I never hear him.
He is at the bottom of the depth chart, unfortunately. He's just maybe a little undersized. So he was a development prospect when Jeremy Pruitt's staff took him anyways. And he's going through his stages of development. So hopefully one day he can be a contributor for Tennessee, because that would be a really cool story.
It would. The thing I was going to ask on what you guys was talking about during the call earlier, we hear that a freshman quarterback ain't no way he can do. He's a phenom. If he does it, don't Alabama have a true freshman quarterback to depend on this year?
A redshirt freshman.
Well, he's a redshirt freshman. Okay. But now, will they be in the championship game, or will they have one loss and another team be in the championship game? And of course, that's how it played out the year that Georgia was able to get in the playoffs till they faced Alabama in the playoffs, and they got eliminated there. But will we see that again this year? Or will we have two SEC teams in the playoffs, and will both of them be from the West?
Yesterday on YouTube, we had a message on YouTube. Someone was like, "Hey man, give us your accurate prediction on Tennessee's record this year." And I was like, "What? Accurate prediction before the game starts? You want me to give you an accurate prediction? I can give you a prediction and hope that it is as accurate as possible, but you wanted me to give you an accurate prediction. Man, if I can do that, then I wouldn't be doing the show. I'll be out here playing the lottery for a living." So you try to give a prediction as good as you can based on the information that's available. I don't know what's going to happen, Turkey Man, with Alabama.
Hard not to assume that it'll be the same group of teams.
Yeah,
Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, A&M, LSU. They'll try to be in the mix.
Yeah, I don't know what's going. I don't know how Alabama's going to get in. But
a lot of people are on Oklahoma's bandwagon going into the season because of Spencer Rattler, their quarterback, and adding guys like Eric Gray. Their defense is supposedly in a really good spot by Oklahoma football standards. They think it could be one of the best defenses they've had in a long time. So a lot of people are on the Oklahoma bandwagon.
But you know why too? Because Ohio State lost Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence is not at Clemson. Matt Jones is not at Alabama. So those are the quarterbacks of the teams that have been traditionally getting to the college football playoff, and they may take a little small step back. Spencer Rattler is a returning quarterback, and so you've added some SEC transfers. You put more of a premium on defense. Maybe this is the year for you to make a run.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the quarterbacks that those teams lost. I mean, Alabama lost Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, and Clemson loses Travis Etienne, and Ohio State lost a lot of talent. Those three teams, it wasn't just the quarterbacks that they lost. They lost a lot of talent to go along with their star quarterbacks, and that's why a lot of people are singing Georgia and Oklahoma's praises this year, because those two teams return a lot while the other ones lose a lot.
Time to take a break, or I might hit the landing plane on us. You, me, and Turkey Man. I'm going to hit it on all of us, man. All right, it's time to take a break. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour number 1 is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design.
After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
$90 days, no payment for business internet. Irish Networks, USA.com is their website. Reliable, high quality fiber internet and voice. Amazing customer service. Tennessee business, connecting Tennessee businesses. Again, Irish Networks, USA.com sponsors Attaboy, where we highlight positivity, we highlight good stories. And Ben, what do you have for us today?
I have two things that I want to mention. We've talked about one before, but it's not on the baseball diamond. I'm not going to the baseball diamond for today's attaboys that I want to mention, but I guess I'm giving an attaboy to the NCAA, but I'm going to choose to just give the situation an attaboy because it's not like the NCAA did anything major, but the NCAA has cleared J.R. Smith to play golf for NCANT, the Aggies. So I just think that's a really cool story. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago when J.R. Smith announced his decision to go back to school and pursue college golf. I just think it's a great example of following your dreams and trying to make the most of them and pursuing them. So I just think that's a really cool situation and wanted to mention it. The other thing I wanted to mention was Josiah Jordan-James, who is changing his number this upcoming season. Josiah has worn number 5 the past 2 seasons as a freshman and as a sophomore, and now he's going to wear number 30 because his dad wore number 30 and played for Michigan State, and then his brother also wore number 30 throughout his playing career, and Josiah wanted to switch it up, have a new breath of fresh air, and do so by honoring his dad and brother. So I thought this was really cool. Everybody has a why do they do things, and not just in athletics, but in the civilians' life as well. Us civilians, I know we're not talking about the military, but us non-athletes or former washed-up athletes, we all have a purpose each and every day, and mine is for my last name. I always want to represent my last name correctly and do right by the McKee, and do right by my dad, do right by my mom, who did an awesome job of giving me everything I needed growing up, and that's my why, along with trying to set my family up and my wife up for the best future that we can possibly have. So this hit home for me maybe a little bit more than for others, just because that was kind of always my mindset as well, just trying to do things to honor my family in these type of ways. So I thought this was really cool by Josiah Jordan James. It'll be different trying to get used to him wearing number 30, so used to number 5, but a really cool special meaning behind the reason. I thought was attaboy worthy.
When I first saw this, I wondered, why didn't he wear 30 coming in? But then I thought about, they had a major tragedy in their lives. Remember, their home burnt down. Josiah Jordan James' childhood home burnt down while he was here on campus. And maybe when stuff like that happens, it just brings a new meaning. You have a different purpose or different focus, and you want to, wear the number at that point. But yeah, man, he's gonna rock the number 30. I'm used to a pretty good basketball player at the NBA level wearing number 30 to honor his father.
Steph Curry with the shot, boy.
Yeah, so Josiah rocking the number 30, and that's pretty cool attaboy there, him honoring his father and his brother. So back to J.R. Smith, I think it's a lesson on it's never too late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to do something, and we see like grandmothers out here getting college degrees. It's never too late to go back to school if you want to go back to school and be something or do something. It's never too late. That's what I get from J.R. Smith. I mean, he went straight from high school, to the NBA, had a dang good NBA career, won multiple championships, and looks like he is finished playing, has created a love for golf, good in golf, and he wants to go back to school. So to me, he gets the attaboy for doing that. I think that's pretty cool, and it's a great situation because it is at a HBCU. We've seen Steph Curry dump in resources to HBCU's golf programs across the country. So this is just really, really cool development here. Chris Paul has done a really great job in the state of North Carolina, pouring resources into HBCUs as well, the state that he is from. So this is cool. Attaboy to J.R. Smith.
You mentioned Steph Curry wearing number 30 because of his father.
Be careful.
Been a rough week for Mr. Dale Curry.
It's been a rough week for the Currys, man. That's why I'm showing respect.
Poor Steph and Seth.
Hopefully none of those players in the NBA, cross the line and be disrespectful, man, because this is the NBA, man. So it's a tighter fraternity than football.
It is. But, Sway.
What?
Do you remember what Kevin Garnett was telling folks on the court?
I remember what Kevin Garnett told Carmelo Anthony about his wife at the time, but that's one player. That's one player. Hopefully.
Happens frequently.
Well, hopefully. I haven't heard anybody else doing that to Carmelo, but I hope that,
Well, not like that particular dig at Carmelo. Just I'm talking about like that type of trash talk happens frequently in the NBA.
I just hope that, folks have more respect. Respect. I mean, that's his parents. The parents are going through, a divorce, and stuff hasn't bothered anybody. He don't talk trash. He just goes about his business. So usually when you're a player like that, people kind of respect you. If you are a trash talker, and you got some dirty laundry, then people are going to use that against you. But Steph, man, they just go out and ball, but they don't really talk trash. So, but yeah, Twitter. I saw Twitter, NBA Twitter had a good time with that development, man.
NBA Twitter, all of Twitter had a good time.
Donovan says, quote, former washed-up athlete, being looking for a new job now. Man, no, I'm a washed-up athlete.
I was talking about me.
You was talking about me too, and hey, it's true. It is true.
I started the show by putting some respect on Swain's name.
It is true, man. I did the Speaking Catchings camp on Sunday, and we broke the campers into different groups, and then we rotate them. So I was at the station of ball handling, and so I was partnered up with a freaking basketball coach who coaches in a school, Science Hill, and he had a son with him and another member of the basketball team. So it was 4 of us. And so each camper at our station gets a basketball. And so then he throws me the ball. I'm like, sir, why you throwing me a ball for? I'm just here to coach. 6 stations, 12 minutes apiece. So we're doing this ball handling, this drill, and all the demonstrators, all the coaches are doing it with the kids. They're doing stationary ball handling. And I realized at that point that I ain't the same as I was in high school doing some of those ball handling drills. At that moment, I realized that I'm washed up. And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. Can I still shoot it? Yeah, the shot is still butter. But as far as the ball handling and some of the other things, nope, I ain't got that anymore.
In the great words of Toby Keith, may not be good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
Hey, man. Still can shoot it, though.
The shot's broke.
Stop. 865-255-03. Court Tafal says, Swain, your butt should have been in church on Sunday.
He needs it.
Man, how you know I don't do church online? How you don't know that? 865-255-03. All right. Let's see what else is here on. Okay. Viper the show off on YouTube. Good morning. Terry, good morning from Facebook. Cash from Facebook says 7 days until the hype era begins. Go Big Orange. Let's see here. Keith, I don't know what's going on your end. We good over here. Let's see. Cash says 8-4 prediction. Losses to Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and Georgia.
If Tennessee goes 8-4, Josh Heupel is the SEC Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Bob says your prediction, fellas. I'm predicting 6 wins. If you maximize everything and stay healthy, and possibly 7, but I'm hovering around 6 win mark. That's where I am.
That's where I am as well.
865-255-03. We will take a brief timeout on top of the hour break, and then we'll come back with touchdown turnover. We got around the SEC that we will get to as well. Keep it locked in here on the Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. Be right back.
is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Good to be with you here on a Thursday. 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. 1 week, man. 1 week. Until we see some of the new changes around Neyland Stadium, man. That's what I've been having my attention towards is some of the new things that's going on around Neyland Stadium. Obviously the light show, but that's not it. That's not just it. That gets the conversation because we see it around other SEC football programs and stadiums with the light show. We see it here locally with high schools putting out the light show, but that's just not it. A lot of changes that are taking place right now with Tennessee football and the fan experience. The fan experience. That also includes I will give my all for Tennessee signs posted around the stadium. Good to see DJ Stir the Pearl back.
Mm-hmm.
A big time presence. Totally missed him a couple of years ago under the Pruitt regime. They did away with his role, but they are bringing it back. So, touchdown, a turnover. The atmosphere will be enhanced because of these stadium changes a week from today, Thursday, September the 2nd. Will the fan experience be enhanced a week from today, touchdown turnover? Because, hey, you can look at all the changes and say, hey, man, we won't change anything. I don't think it's going to make a big deal. But do you think it will be a big deal? Do you think we can sit here and say that, yeah, the fan experience will be enhanced based on these changes? There's still the changes that are being talked about, like the renovations that will include the bar, the area that's going to be standing room only. That has not been
another video board.
Yeah, not done yet. So with these changes, that just the small changes that you've been able to do just right now, with the limited amount of money that you have to put down to have these changes, do you think it will make a difference? And we will say, yeah, man, significantly enhance the fan experience. Will we say that?
My initial reaction was turnover.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just because I think what will make Thursday night better compared to last year is things that were not included in this list. A new coach. It's not Jeremy Pruitt. We'll have a full crowd. In terms of, it will be 50% capacity. It'll be wide open. And kind of going back to the Josh Heupel point, it's just a new season. So my initial reaction was turnover, just because and winning. Like, Tennessee's going to win this football game. That itself increases the fan experience more than anything. So
yeah, but the result comes at the end of the night.
But I expect Tennessee to blow out Bowling Green, so I expect big plays that excite the crowd all throughout the game. You don't get that in other games, and didn't get a bunch of those plays last year. So just like those kind of plays, winning football plays, I guess you could say, and new coach and it being wide open, that naturally creates a better atmosphere. So that's why my initial thought was turnover. But I am going to say touchdown, because what is new and what will enhance the atmosphere for the opener are the LED lights. The light show, I know it sounds corny to most, and some roll their eyes. And look, I get it. I really do get it. But, and I hate to mention my Alabama experience, because I hate that it was cool. But as I mentioned, the Monday after I came back from the JG debacle, and we had conversation about the light show, and as we talked about last week when it was brought up, when it was kind of announced that there will be a light show for the opener, it makes for a really cool pregame scene inside the stadium. It does. That is just the flat out truth. No bones about it. If you go to the Bowling Green game, and I'm assuming the band is going to be back on the field, and the band's on the field, and the band is doing their thing, and the anticipation is growing, the team's about to run through the tee, the light show's going on, and you don't think that that's cool, then you are just a Scrooge, or you are yell at the clouds guy or girl. Ma'am, sir, you are that person that just yells at the clouds about anything, gets upset about anything, because although the lights are kind of corny and have this, I guess, corny stigma to them, it really does create a cool pregame atmosphere. As I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of it throughout the game, but at least pregame, it makes for a really cool scene. It's really exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing it, quite frankly. So I say touchdown. I do think that these lists of enhancements to the game day experience will truly enhance the game day experience. The LED lights that Tennessee described as a vibrant, state-of-the-art LED lighting system that is in the final stages of completion in Neyland Stadium. A dramatic LED light show will accentuate pregame and in-game festivities, and people will laugh at this too, but fireworks. The traditional fireworks show is moving, and now
why do people laugh at fireworks?
Because Tennessee's not winning. So there are people who just don't care about these things. I'm sure there's already a comment on the text box.
It don't matter. I mean, every time Tennessee scores a touchdown, there's fireworks.
See, already got a comment. They can have a 3-ring circus. I wouldn't care as long as it is followed by a W. Some people just don't care about these things.
But they just saying that. I don't believe it. If you just went to a football game, if you had a choice to either go to a football game where the experience was enhanced, you had all these enhancements, or go to a football game where there's nothing, but the result was still the same, you can't tell me this person would pick, well, I would pick the boring. It's not about picking whether or not to have the enhancements or win. That's what people need to just stop. Stop with the BS. You're not picking whether to have the enhancements or win the game. Obviously, winning is the goal. Winning is the goal. But while you are winning, you want to have a good time and have a great experience while you are in pursuit of the W. So stop. Let's stop being simpletons here. Let's stop. I would just rather win. No one's asked you to pick. You don't have to pick having a good time or winning a game. You can do both. The result of the game is not going to be for 3.5 hours after the game starts. But during the 3.5 hours, you have a choice to have a better experience. That's the conversation. It's not or. It's and. It's and. Like, this is not like the stadium. Excuse me. This is not like the uniform conversation where it's like, I don't care what they wear as long as they win. That's different than the experience. You're paying a lot of money to go to these games. And I think the experience is important. So my answer is touchdown. Not even because of the lights, not even because of the fireworks, not even because, the Volunteer Village pregame concert series. Like, come on, like this is an event that they're trying to put on for you. So you get a chance to go to a pregame concert, have your kids do the Vol Village, have a good time, and then go to the game. So then you mean you don't want that. So you got kids, you want them to just not have fun before the game. You want them to sit there in silence and just enjoy the game as long as Tennessee win. Or do you want them to have a good experience and Tennessee win? Both, right? Like, I remember when I took my daughter to it was a Tennessee-Arkansas game. Now, we lost the game, but the result was at the end of the game, Ben. You didn't lose it in the first quarter, didn't lose it in the second, didn't lose it in the third. You lost it in the fourth quarter at the end. But guess what happened during the game? Like, my daughter had a great time. It was in the mix of turn down for what? Third down for what? She had a great time. That's fan experience. So my answer is touchdown, not even because of the lights, or the fireworks, Volunteer Village, tailgate, or like slapping your hand on the I will give my all sign. There's one thing on this list, Ben, that will enhance the fan experience from the previous 30 years. That's just music alone. That's Stir of the Pearl. Music alone enhances the experience. Because a song with a good beat, you're going to bob your head a little bit. You're going to move your shoulders a little bit. You're going to move your hips a little bit. Music just does something for the soul. And when you hear that energy from a Stir of the Pearl, that right there is going to be different from the last 3 years. The last 3 years were just vanilla. I remember when Tennessee played South Carolina. I was at the game in 2019. 2019, we beat South Carolina. 21 unanswered points there in the second half. It was fun. It was great. But you can't tell me that the 2016 game against Florida wasn't more fun, not just because of the opponent, but because there's more energy in the stadium. The fan experience was a lot better. You had Sterling in the stadium. You have the music, so you don't have to choose. Like, folks, stop. Just be happy. Stop finding ways to bitch and moan. Stop finding ways to complain. Stop finding ways to just be upset or go against something. You don't have to pick having a good time or winning. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's not like, if we do these things, that means we're not going to win. Nothing to do with one another. Nothing to do with one another. Everyone's goal is to win the game. In pursuit of the victory, how about we have a little good time while we're doing it too? What's wrong with that? Now I'm with Ben. I'm not over here doing backflips about the light show, but I am happy about Stir of the Pearl being back.
Oh, I'm doing backflips for the pregame light show because that in conjunction with the on-field stuff and the anticipation, the build-up from the team appearing from the tunnel, that's one of my favorite parts about pregame is the anticipation of, obviously depending on where you sit, but I love when you're sitting in the stands and I even get excited like during warm-ups when like the guys are about to run onto the field and you're looking, you're waiting, and then all of a sudden you see the white helmets pop out of the tunnel and emerge. Just the beautiful white helmet with the orange power T on the side. There are a few things more beautiful on this planet, and they emerge from the tunnel. So that anticipation paired with the awesome stuff the band does on the field, paired with a light show, it's going to make for a really, really cool atmosphere, pregame atmosphere. So I am doing backflips for the pregame atmosphere. It's just kind of after kickoff, it's just light shows, kind of just whatever to me.
I got a message. Sometimes it ain't about you. And I mean like you, like in us, or like it's not about you. It's not about us. The atmosphere is important because the players feed off of that. The recruits see that. They are in that environment. They might say, man, I want to play in this environment. It ain't about you. You may not like the lights. You may not like the music. Cool, whatever, awesome. But it ain't about you. It's about the recruits. It's about the players feeding off their energy. Understand that. Understand that too. So, man, sorry to get all hot and bothered, but man.
Sorry to go on a rant.
It's like, yo, we're not picking between fan experience and winning. Like, stop being basic. All right, let's go back to the phones.
We have Corton Vol and then David in Louisville.
Corton Vol, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing, sir?
Man, when Ben started talking about the orange power tee and the helmet, and man, I started wanting to do some up downs. Like that got me hopped. I'm not like that's like we're a week out. And I'm starting to think about that already, and I'm getting amped. It's
up downs. Whew.
Had me feeling some type of way.
You really hype if you volunteering to do up downs.
But before I make my point real quick, you kind of touched on it already. But like I remember my wife's very first in-person Tennessee game was the Tennessee-Oklahoma game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an experience, and that was back. That's been a couple years ago.
Was that 15?
Yeah, that was 15, and that was here at home. And she still refers to that as probably the most fun she's ever had doing anything. And we've been to Ireland. We've seen Fleetwood Mac a few times in concert. I mean, we've done some really cool stuff. And she still thinks that's the most fun that she's had doing anything with me. And that makes me happy.
Oh, yeah, you the man. You are the man. Well, hey, tell me what were the reasons why? Like, what went on that day? Besides the game, but like what happened during the day, what happened during the game that made your wife feel that way?
Well, it was all around. It was a good day. We weren't even engaged yet. We had just started dating, and I went, picked her up, and we had a pretty good drive at that point in time. We didn't live in Knoxville, so we came down and we walked around. I showed her around a little bit because I had already been to quite a few games. I've been coming to games since even before I could even remember who you were. it's been a little while, and we come and did a couple different things and went out to eat, and just walked around and met with people and high-fived a little bit, and then I walked her around the stadium and showed her a couple different things. It was the all-around experience.
Yeah.
I think is really what it's like you were talking about, and then just the game atmosphere, the pregame, the hype, and that's probably, of all the games I've been to, that's easily the very loudest game that I've ever been to. I couldn't hear for 3 or 4 days. I couldn't talk for 3 or 4 days. It was electric, and it just sucked the air out of my body that we lost the way we did, but that's a different story.
Yep.
But it still didn't take away from the all-around experience. It was still a really good game, and it was just amazing. The place was, it was unbelievable. It was just ready to explode at any second.
And there was a lead up to that, man. I remember when the players hit the football field, you had the circle of life with the band. That was something that was new, and that pumped energy in the entire stadium. Our players fed off of that, and that has nothing to do with the result. But again, it's a part of the experience. The result didn't happen until after you had the experience. The result happened in the fourth quarter, actually in overtime there. But their experience was all the way up until the last play of the football game. So that's what it's about. It's about the experience. And, yeah, the L stinks, right? But, you can have a good experience even in some of those losses that you can cherish for the rest of your life. I know I did that with my daughter when we lost to Arkansas. The results stunk, and I walked out, didn't even say anything, didn't even talk, barely on the way home. But, man, during the game, me and my daughter had an awesome time. And I know it would have been different if it wasn't, if we didn't have Stir the Pearl, if we didn't have, third down for what, it would have been different. It wouldn't have not been that fun. That's what I mean by fan experience.
Correct.
And still being able to enjoy it without sitting here saying, well, I'd rather win. No one's asked you to choose.
It's funny that Courton Vol brings that game up because that was I've never asked my wife. I'll have to when she wakes up today after working night shift. But I think that's the game that truly sold her on Tennessee because we came up to that Tennessee-Oklahoma game in 2015 for my 18th birthday, 19th, I don't know, something like that. I was still in community college in Huntsville, and she got me tickets for my birthday, and we drove up and stayed the night, and that atmosphere is what I think truly converted her because she grew up in an Auburn household, and she's never been a real diehard football fan. She's the type that she likes football, she likes sports, but she doesn't really like watching on TV. She likes going, and the game day atmosphere, and DJ Stir the Pearl getting everybody crunk during timeouts because Lord knows those timeouts are 7 minutes and 57 seconds long every single time, and Pearl just getting the atmosphere going, and I think that was the day that she realized just how special Tennessee is and why I was and am so passionate about Tennessee. And so I think it's funny that Courton Vol brought that up because I think that's what sold my wife and fully converted her as well because she had been that wasn't her first game that I had taken her to. We had come up for the 13 Tennessee-Auburn game when Jacquez Smith gave himself a concussion in the end zone after his pick six, and then Nick Marshall ran all over Tennessee all day long. And we'd gone to 2014 Tennessee Ole Miss game, and we came to the 14 Tennessee Arkansas game. So I guess the same game that you were at, the one where Evan Berry returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was 15.
Was it 15?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had been to other games, but that Oklahoma game was something different. That's why Tennessee is so special, and people talk about Neyland Stadium and the passion of the fans in such high regard because there are a handful. You can probably count on one hand, maybe two, how many programs can recreate that type of atmosphere.
Let's get to David, who's calling in Louisville. David, good morning.
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Nothing. Well, Swain, some people just don't want to answer the real question, and they just want to give that, BS answer of just put all that money that they're wasting on laser lights and the recruiting and coaching and man, shut up. Because I'm going to tell you something. I've been going to Neyland Stadium for 33 years. Okay, and 15 Oklahoma, 06 Cal, so many games in the 90s are games I'll never forget because of the atmosphere and the experience. And I'm going to give people a reality check. If you went to a game last year, you immediately realize what you didn't have anymore. I drove 4 hours, went to multiple games. There was probably less than 20,000 people in the stadium for some. I sit in the lower north end zone for my season tickets. I was displaced into the south upper. Okay? We're curb stomping Missouri. We're undefeated. And I don't even have anybody around me to high five because we're spaced out. There's no band on the field, no running through the tee, no tailgating. So you can't tell me an experience doesn't add to what Tennessee football is. It's the entire experience. When I cross Tennessee state lines from Kentucky, every time I look to the sky and thank the Lord that I'm in the good state of Tennessee.
Amen.
That's where it starts, right there by the Jellicoe exit. And I get down to Knoxville, and I got to go to Gus's, and I got to do my thing. And we tailgate, and none of that was there last year. So I can't even imagine somebody not enjoying themselves just with the Tennessee pageantry back, and traditions back that were there prior to COVID. Then you add in, okay, we're coming into the 21st century, some of the stuff that I'm Sterling Pearl. Listen, I know you know this, Swain, and Ben, you've been to Tuscaloosa. But, they pick some nice tracks to play to get not only the players but the crowd crunk.
And the recruits.
They play C Murder, that instrumental. I mean, they play stuff, those bells start ringing on third down. We need an update. We don't need, it's third down when we're getting curb stomped by 43 points. If anybody's been in a stadium last year that I was in when they were pumping crowd noise in on a punt where we punted from our own 20 and the ball was fair caught on the 50, for some reason whoever's pumping crowd noise in hit the excitement button like we just scored. What happened last year compared to what's going to happen this year? Like Ben said, new coach. This is a fresh start. Add some lights, add whatever, and enjoy yourself. Y'all are idiots and jerks for not even listening to the question, and y'all need to really, really appreciate the experience when y'all go this year, and I know I will. Now, with light show, do we have any details? Like, are they cutting the actual stadium lights off and doing something where these laser lights are hitting the field pregame and
no idea
they do on some of those NBA courts?
Man, I have no clue, man. We'll know in the week, but I have not seen a demonstration. I have not seen anything. So, I would imagine it looks similar to Alabama and Georgia, and it gets pretty dark, and then you see the different lights hitting the field. So I would imagine it's closer to what you are saying. But again, I don't have.
Let's think about Swain. Think about some of the other small things that, like Coach Pearl did, bringing the players down to center court, high fiving the fans. Even when Grant and Admiral were there, and we added that little app where it syncs to your flashlight on your phone, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's your cell phone.
That's awesome.
A light show.
That's awesome right there, man. That adds to the fan experience.
To the music.
Yes.
That's the fan experience, but nobody wants to answer your true question. So, hey, bring it all on. Bring Sterl the Pearl back, hit him up, tell him to update his track list and some instrumentals, and we good with Sterl the Pearl there. And then add some laser lights. Some 17, 18-year-olds are going to love that.
Yep. No, you are right, my friend. Well, at least I agree with you. But I think you're right, David. And I think people need to realize this too. Like, Sterl lives here in Knoxville, but Sterl travels all around the world because people want him to work their parties. Like, Sterl is sought after by some of the best in the industry. Sterl is one of the best in the industry, and we get him to ourselves. He so happens to be a Tennessee volunteer that loves Tennessee, and so we get someone that goes around the world doing what he does. It's kind of like having Inky Johnson. Like Inky is renowned, world renowned, but it just hits different when he comes and talks to Tennessee. It's just different. Sterling's kind of in that same category. So we are fortunate, man. And I don't know if people are noticing this, but since this administration has been put together in the last couple months, you're seeing a premium put on people that wore the orange here. Sterling's back. Got statues going up.
That is
just keep your eyes open.
That's the difference. Why does Peyton Manning love Tennessee so much?
The
people. Who do you always hear him talk about when he does come to games? Who is he always with? You know them better than I, but all those behind the scenes people in the football department.
Fraze, Chicken Hawk, those guys. Carmen Degano, before he retired. But like
the power is in the people, as you always say, Swain.
But this administration is letting it be known that there's other people that play at Tennessee outside of Peyton Manning. And just keep your eyes open and continue to watch what this administration is doing. We have a lot of resources at the University of Tennessee, and we can use our own people to do what we want to do. And so just pay attention. I think
keep the gumps out.
Yeah, I think if you haven't already noticed, you will notice moving forward. All right, let's get back to the phones. Let's get to Jay. Jay, good morning.
Sterl the Pearl, Swain.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something, man. Sterl used to be my AAU coach, man. That is my guy.
Really? Oh, man, I bet y'all was hyped every game.
For basketball?
Oh, man. Yeah, basketball. Sterl was the craziest coach I ever played for, but he was good. It was probably us and this other team. We were one of the best teams in the area. And, he was my AAU coach for 2 years. Knoxville Jazz, man.
Wow.
He'd run people off the court.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I love Sterl, so I'm all about him coming back. But, yeah, he was fun, man. He was a trip. He would lay down literally lay down right there on the sideline if he's trying to make a point. I mean, he would just do some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen.
Energy.
Yeah.
Energy for days. I don't know where he gets it from, but I'm glad that he has it, and I'm glad that he's associated with Tennessee.
Yeah, man. He's a good dude, man, and he really does love this place. So that's awesome. Hey, I just kind of tuned in late, but did I hear something about an orange helmet?
Oh, no. You must have tuned in.
We're going to get that rolling?
No, man, you must have tuned in mid-sentence.
Yeah.
Ben was talking about a white helmet with an orange stripe on it, orange power T. You must have tuned in like mid-sentence.
Well, now, I swore I heard orange helmet.
No, I ain't hear that.
What drugs did you do this morning?
I ain't hear that. Man. When'd you hear that?
I don't know. Maybe my mind's just telling me what I want to hear.
Maybe that's the case. Now I don't know about any helmet.
We're going to do some alternate uniforms now.
That is true.
They already said that's coming.
That's true. I mean, I just wonder what game it's going to be.
Well, let me tell you. Let me ask you this then. You think we're going to get an alternate helmet? If you had to bet on it.
Yes.
You do.
I'm not confident in saying that, but
give me a percentage, Ben.
Oh, Jay's put you in the corner.
51%.
Oh.
51-49.
I ain't never seen somebody so happy over 51%.
Is it gonna be black or is it gonna be orange?
I don't know. That's I don't know. I think that you're likely to see all black unis. So
you can't roll a white helmet out there with all black unis, man.
Correct. So do you go? I personally, as much as I love the color orange, Tennessee orange to be exact, it's my favorite color. Yeah. I don't know that a pumpkin head would look good with all black unis. So if they do decide to do all black unis, I hope they do a black alternate helmet with it.
I think you could have some problems getting that orange. I don't know, just the right shade on a helmet for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, can you get it just that right shade of orange on that helmet?
I'd love to see a matte black helmet. I love matte black. And if they do black unis, I'd love to see a matte black helmet.
Y'all just started something. Man.
I'm not against it. I mean, like once a year, I'm not against that.
No, I'm not either.
I mean, you don't have to be Alabama, man. Alabama's practice uniforms look like their game uniforms.
No, you can be yourself.
But you know what? Nick Saban had a cold-blooded response to that. Did you see that?
No,
They asked him about the uniforms, and he said we wear red at home and we wear white on the road. Because they were asking him about Oregon and all these different uniform combinations, and he said we wear red at home and white on the road. He said we're not really concerned with uniforms around here. We're more concerned with who's wearing them.
Yep.
And I was like, well, you know what? That's why y'all's beating people's skulls in.
It works for them. It works. Clemson wears a purple uniform once a year.
That's a mistake, man, because that purple uniform is cold-blooded.
Oh, it's sweet. They should wear more. But, man, it's what they do. Ohio State, they wear different things. It works for them. They still honor tradition. But they wear different
LSU,
uniforms.
man, they need to break out the purples more.
Yeah, they wear purple once a year, too. So, I mean, everyone has their thing. Different strokes for different folks. What is worn in Alabama doesn't mean it has to be the same at Clemson or Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And Alabama ain't getting players to win championships because of uniforms, and neither are the other schools. But it's cool to be able to do some different things. And Tennessee does it, then cool, man. I'll be all for it. As long as the premium is put on winning, and we're getting good players in here. That's really what I care about the most. But I'm cool with doing something different with uniforms. Don't bother me one bit. All right, Jay, we got to run, man.
See you, man.
See you. Golly, we got the phones backed up. Got the phones backed up. But we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll go straight to the phones. I apologize. We got to take a break. 865-255-03. Be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Let's get to Justin in Florida, calling in on the Iris Networks hotline this morning. Justin, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How we doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. How are you?
It's Florida, getting near football season. Got Tennessee stuff on the car, so of course, I'm catching a lot of flack from all these Gator fans down here. But hey, trying to power through.
Okay, just give them Rashawn Golden and keep them moving.
I like your style, Swain. hey, wanted to throw something out there. With this whole light show and fan experience, I think what they're trying to do is maybe pull in like a younger generation. A lot of people have called in and talked about having kids, bringing them to games, and getting them hooked on being Tennessee fans. Well, it's tougher to do, especially when you're not winning. And, maybe that fan experience isn't just about, the adults. Maybe it's about bringing in a younger generation, kind of building for the future. Because I remember going to the first Tampa Bay Lightning games down here, and, they started out as an organization. They just weren't good. And one thing I always gave them credit for, their fan experience was amazing. And I'm still convinced the Lightning do a better fan experience than any sport, any team. They just do it right. I mean, now they're winning, Stanley Cup championships, and you could say, oh, well, it's easy to do. They're winning. But they've always done it. And, they've gotten great buy-in from the community because of it. Even if they weren't winning, fans still enjoyed going to the game. Parents still liked bringing their kids. The kids were into it, even though they didn't understand hockey. And I actually, I think it was 2 callers ago, brought up, and they kind of stole my point, but the lights on the phones at basketball games. I mean, I thought that was an awesome touch when Tennessee first rolled that out. So I think every administration, every coaching staff, everyone wants to win. There's nobody out there that, goes in and goes, well, we don't care about winning.
Yeah,
but I think you kind of have to walk and chew gum, Swain, to the point you made earlier.
Yeah.
And, while you're trying to win, create a good fan experience and hope it plays out. because, like, even the players don't – a lot of these players don't remember Tennessee from back in the day. One of the players was talking in an interview, I think it was Hyatt, and he had said that Heupel brought the energy back, and so many fans jumped on him, which I thought was wrong, about, oh, we've heard this so many times in the past. Well, from, that kid's perspective, he hasn't heard it before. He hasn't seen it before. He didn't grow up a Tennessee fan. He probably grew up a South Carolina fan, and now he's playing for Tennessee. So, just step outside your own eyes and look at it maybe from different points of view, and realize that these things are being done with a purpose.
Exactly. Justin, I remember, I gave an example of when I took my daughter to 2015 Arkansas game. I also remember taking my kid to, I want to say it was the 2019 Mississippi State game. It was a noon game, and we won the game, but it was so boring.
It's when your boy Brian Maurer started.
Yep, he threw 2 picks in the red zone. JG came back in and
Tyler Bird for the TD.
Yeah, did a pretty good job of leading the offense to some scores, but Tennessee won that game. If you ask me which game I had the most time at, had the most fun at, it was the Arkansas game. That doesn't mean I want to lose or I don't care about winning. Like if you ask me like which game I had the most fun, it was the game that we lost. And that's an example of how the fan experience can be important, and you can have both. You can, like Justin said, you can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. It's okay. All right, let's get back to the phones. Thank you for the phone call, Justin. Justin sounded like he's about to go somewhere, huh? Mm-hmm. Had the keys in the ignition, ready to go.
I heard he was going to venture to go see Dave Tona, so that's probably where he is headed.
It's probably him and Dave Tona about to go hang out. Man, had the keys in the ignition. Let's get to John. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, John.
Couple questions. Jason, I want to know, what was it like battling Jason Allen in practice every day? And then my second question is, what do you see on this defense that could be the next potential, impact player or that we got, like a Jason Allen or Eric Berry? I'm not saying to be in the secondary, just in the room defense. I feel like we haven't had a favorite player back there in a couple of years, probably Derek Barnett. And that's it.
That's a good one, John. Thanks for the phone call. Cute baby in the background, by the way, too. Going up against Jason Allen was like a battle every single day. Now, as a freshman, I went up against him. He had played a little bit of corner at the beginning, but remember he switched from corner to safety during his career. My freshman year in 2003, he had took, I want to say, Antoine Stewart's position at corner, but they wound up both playing safety. So I saw less of Jason Allen in practice when he started to play safety. But it was always a battle. The first time I went up against Jason Allen in summer workouts, like he jammed me to the bathrooms. He jammed me to the hallways. He jammed me to the fax machine. He jammed me into the custodian room. Like, it was the first time I've ever faced press coverage because everyone in high school would just play off. So, I wasn't ready. That was the first time. And it was the last time that he jammed me up like that in practice. We always used to have a thing about being the king of Alabama. Like, I'm the king of Alabama. He's the king of Alabama because we both were from Alabama playing at Tennessee.
He's from
Muscle Shoals. Yeah, he's from Muscle Shoals. And so we used to have some knockout dragouts. And I mean, trash talking. Like, hey, man, I don't want to make you lose any money today. I know the scouts are around, Jay Allen. You better. This ain't personal. You might want to go against somebody else. You don't go against me. I might cost you money, embarrassing you in front of these scouts. That's what I would say to him. But we used to have battles, and we made each other better. But we didn't see a lot of each other a little bit later on in his career because he played safety. And I was on the outside playing receiver, so I went up against more corners. Sometimes I would play slot, but rarely went up against safeties, man. They had no chance. No chance. But as far as defense, what kind of player has that Jason Allen potential that Rashawn Golden, Eric Berry? I don't really even like mentioning Eric Berry because like he's different.
Yeah, he's all-time great.
Yeah, that's different. Like let's not mention excuse me, any player and try to say who's going to be next Eric Berry because those don't grow in trees. Let's say like
Derek Barnett as well.
Cam Sutton. Let's say like Rashawn Golden. Let's say Jay Allen, who are all third round or higher picks. But like Eric was a top 5 and could arguably be the number 1 overall pick that year. He was special. So,
he was the number 4 overall pick, right?
Yeah. I think
was that Mario Williams' year?
No. Mario Williams was that was
2010 draft, right, for Barry?
Barry was 2010, correct. Mario Williams went the same year as Reggie Bush. I think that was 06. I think Reggie Bush left after 3 years at
Dang, I
Southern
was
Cal.
way off as usual. That was the Sam Bradford draft. Sam Bradford, Ndamukong Suh, Gerald McCoy, Trent Williams, and then Eric 5th.
Yeah.
Dang, that top 10 of that draft had some big-time players. You had Ndamukong Suh go number 2 overall to the sorry Detroit Lions. Gerald McCoy, again, Trent Williams, Russell Okung, Joe Hayden, C.J. Spiller went 9th. Earl Thomas was in that first round, 14th overall. Big safety draft.
Yeah. So, the answer.
Des Bryant, Tim Tebow, Dan Williams.
Yeah, first round to the Cardinals there at the end of the first round. But to try to answer John's question, I don't think there's anybody in the secondary right now that we can point to being on those guys' level just yet. I like Danico Slaughter. Maybe he can turn into a Rashawn Golden. But Rashawn Golden came in, and it took him some time. It took him time for him to get his footing. And Rashawn's one of my favorite players to play at Tennessee in the last couple of years. He was tenacious, ferocious, wasn't afraid of anybody, and worked his tail off. And he was a dog. We talk about Jawan Jennings being a dog, but Rashawn Golden was that too. That's a hard question, John. I would say Danico Slaughter right now can develop into a Rashawn Golden type, but I mean these are big shoes that these guys have to try to fill. Who you got? You got somebody?
Rashawn, no. I don't think there's anybody in Tennessee secondary right now that projects to be a Jason Allen type.
Nah.
Who was a first-round talent. Maybe some guys can develop into a Rashawn Golden level player. I think that's very possible. I think Danico Slaughter can, like you mentioned. I think Tamarion McDonald can. I think Christian Charles is a guy that's going to be a really good football player for Tennessee, freshman safety who played quarterback there in Gainesville, Georgia. Knows A.J. Johnson. Not on a super personal level, but they're from the same hometown, and they are aware of one another. So I just unfortunately don't think that Tennessee has any Jason Allen level
not yet
defenders on his team.
Not yet. Let's go back to the phones.
Got Dave Tona.
Dave Tona, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Of course, I called in with nothing really of any substance.
Shocker.
Awesome.
Since, that's what Ballstorm thinks anyway. So, Maryville plays Powell tonight, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So,
7 p.m.
A defensive tackle is not really going to, win the game. Well, I mean, he's not going to, he may be dominant, but I don't think Powell wins because they have Walter Nolan. But what's your prediction for this game? And as far as Justin in Florida, man, he ever wants to hook up with Papat, we'll watch a game.
I'm sure Justin's listening. Walter Nolan can win the game for Powell.
Oh, and Dave Tona, you owe Justin in Florida $50, by the way.
I thought it was 20.
No, it's 50.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Justin already told Pap that he can keep it or donate it to the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We can donate it to somebody else. Basically, Ben McKee's, gas fund. But I can't give a prediction because I'm calling the game. So
look at you.
I'm professional, man. I learned that from Kurt Herbstreit.
I'm proud of you. I think Maryville wins. I think. What do we think of when we think of Maryville football?
Consistency, discipline, well coached.
Bingo.
I mean,
I think Powell was very sloppy week 1 and shot themselves in the foot a ton. And Powell has a ton of talent, but it kind of feels like a bunch of 7-on-7 superstars going up against what you just said, a disciplined, sound football team. And I think that's why Anderson County was able to stick in that game as long as they were able to, because Powell shot themselves in the foot, turnovers, penalties, and they weren't, simple holding penalties. It was Anderson County. I can't remember. They drove the length of the field in the fourth quarter to either tie the game or take the lead. I think it was to tie the game. I can't remember exactly. Maybe it was to extend the lead. I don't know. But my point is, Powell had Anderson County backed up in the end zone, essentially. Anderson County was at like their own 5 or 10 yard line. And it was 3rd and 14, and Powell made the Anderson County quarterback get out of the pocket and scramble and took off for like 3 yards. And it was going to be like 4th and 10. Anderson County was punting out of its own end zone, was going to punt out of its own end zone until a late hit out of bounds. That was totally unnecessary. It gave Anderson County a first down, kept the drive alive, and Anderson County proceeded to drive down the field and score a touchdown. So it was stupid penalties like that. So I think Maryville will win. I thought Powell was.
Thanks for your prediction.
Powell was a little too sloppy for my liking when I saw them last Friday. But hey, it was week 1. Maybe they get things corrected. It's just hard for me to believe that all of the mistakes that I saw, there were a lot of them, get corrected as quickly as a 6-day time span. And on top of a quick turnaround, you're going up against one of the greatest high school football programs, not in the state of Tennessee, in the United States of America, in the entire country. A very disciplined football team in Maryville.
Yep.
We had some people ask how they can listen, how they can watch the game tonight, Rivalry Thursday. How can they get a hold of that? How can they hear you call the game tonight?
Yeah. So to watch the game, if you're out of state, the Diamond Clear Media app, you can download that. Diamond Clear Media. And then to listen to me call the game on radio, you can go to the Sports Animal website to stream the show. I think they have an app. You can stream their station during the game. If you're here locally, then obviously pretty easy just to turn on the dial there. Sports Animal. Again, it's still weird to be talking about me being on Sports Animal, but that's where I'll be. So you get a chance to check out Tony Bromo, my alter ego, Tony Bromo, calling the game. So
you are the Charles Davis of East Tennessee high school football.
There we go. I like that better, man. So, yeah, man, I've been there's a lot of preparation goes into calling the game, whether you are the color analyst, which I am color analyst, that's for sure, or you are the play-by-play announcer. A lot of preparation, man. A lot of work goes into it. So we'll be on that call tonight, 7 p.m., Brian Rice and myself. So hour 3 is coming up. Stay with us.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
There are articles and news stories
that you read.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
At Iris Networks, we know that business communication solutions are critical to your success. Since 1998, we've been helping businesses in East Tennessee by providing reliable and affordable high-speed fiber internet and voice solutions. That's why Iris Networks is your Tennessee communications partner. With internet speeds up to 100 gigs and work from anywhere solutions like mobile apps, video conferencing, and file sharing, we make sure you can stay connected to your customers and great communities we live and work in. Iris Networks, because just like you, Tennessee is our home.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Around the SEC to start hour number 3 here on the Swain Event. Dang, look at that, man. Oh, here flowing around the SEC to start hour number 3 with Ben McKee. All right, Ben, it's on you, man. What you got today?
Have a couple of different news and notes to discuss. There were some significant events that came out yesterday. We'll start with Missouri, where Eli Drinkwitz confirmed that freshman defensive end Kyron Montgomery will miss the entire season with a torn ACL.
Hate that for him.
Absolutely. Also said that running back Tyler Beatty missed practice yesterday, a.k.a. Wednesday, but that was purely precautionary. He has no structural damage after leaving practice on Saturday, and that is a big breath of fresh air, big sigh of relief, I guess I should say, for Missouri, because Tyler Beatty has been the Robin to Batman at Missouri the last couple of years. He's been Larry Roundtree's sidekick, and obviously Larry Roundtree has moved on, and Larry Roundtree, one of the all-time greats at Missouri, and Tyler Beatty is going to lead the charge of trying to replace his production, and he's a really nice football player as well. So Missouri avoids disaster with Tyler Beatty being held out due to precautionary reasons after He had a collision on Saturday during practice. LSU and USC agreed to open the 2024 season on Labor Day weekend at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And this is hilarious because this is one day after the Alliance announcement. The Pac-12's historic football power finalized a deal to play an SEC team on ESPN and ABC in Las Vegas. One day after the Alliance had its press conference.
That'd be cool.
No, it will. LSU, USC, that'll be a big time football game. So that is really cool. And the last thing, I got two more things for you. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey was asked about future SEC football schedules, and he was asked this on 1010XL in Jacksonville, Florida, the flagship radio home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
God, they're gonna be terrible.
So bad. How long before Urban gets fired, or steps away to for health reasons?
Woo! I ain't feeling too good. Time to sit on down. He looked miserable in the preseason game.
It's funny to watch the NFL analysts that I follow on Twitter just absolute trash the Jaguars.
They gonna be terrible, man.
And it's not your basic college football take on Urban. It's like from an X's and O's standpoint. Like, what is he doing?
Terrible play calling in preseason. Offense look vanilla and dry. Maybe it's because of preseason, but man, whew.
I mean, it makes you wonder if like the Jaguars are actually the Detroit Lions in a Jaguars uniform. That's how bad it has gotten. But anyways, Greg Sankey on the Jaguars flagship station. Quote, we need to rotate teams through our campuses with greater frequencies. So he has apparently asked for scheduling feedback from athletic directors and also presidents and chancellors. And I think he hit the nail right on the head. It is ridiculous that some players can go their entire career and not play teams. I played high school baseball with Nick Fitzgerald in Georgia, and he went on to obviously play quarterback at Mississippi State, and he was there for 5 years because he redshirted when Dak was there. When Dak was a senior, Nick redshirted. He was there for 5 years. Not once did he play Tennessee. How can you be in the same conference as somebody and you have a player that not only played 4 years but played 5 years and did not play one of the teams in the conference?
That's weird. Yep.
That's crazy. So I completely agree with Greg Sankey there. And the last thing I've got for you, Texas A&M has a starting quarterback. It'll be true or redshirt freshman Haynes King in the opener against Kent State on Saturday, September 4th. So Jimbo Fisher announced that on ESPN 975.
I got a feeling he's going to be pretty good.
Houston. I think Haynes King is going to be very good.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty good there.
You think Jim Chaney was down in New Orleans seeing that news? I told you so. Quez, you see why we went after Haynes? Even though we had Harrison, you see why we went after Haynes? You see that, Quez? Shy. You see why we went after Haynes so hard? We thought he was going to be the king of Knoxville.
Whoo. Ben, you trying to set me up? I ain't going for it. I ain't saying anything. You're right. Speaking of setup, dang Peyton. Did you see Peyton, who spoke to the Greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony on Tuesday, and admitted to Bob Kesslin that he knew who the quarterback was going to be, that Heupel told him. Dang, Peyton. Heupel's out here telling everybody that he has not made a decision yet. And Peyton says that he told him. Come on, Peyton. Come on, Peyton. Yeah, me and Peyton know. You know, me and Peyton know. Yeah. I mean, I kind of knew before Peyton, though. Because I said it way, months before, like spring, early summer. So I kind of one-up Peyton on that one, I think. Maybe Peyton knew before me.
You didn't know in the summer.
I knew.
No, you thought.
I knew.
You thought you knew. You thought Joe Milton was going to prove to be the best quarterback Tennessee had.
Well, you might be
You
right.
didn't know for fact.
He did say Hyper told him so. Yeah, but dang, Peyton, you put Hyper in a bad spot there, huh? That's a little weird. Anyways, 865-255-03. Chip Payne. I got a Rashawn Golden salute for you, sir. Tony Vitello, Chancellor Plowman, and Danny White was on Vol calls yesterday. I thought it was football season. It ain't football season. Ben, were you pretty excited about seeing Tony Vitello? Vol calls?
I have no comment because George's Creations, who wants Kevin Gates in between plays during games, which look, Kevin Gates in between plays, that'll get the guys going real quick.
Hey,
we know that for a fact.
As long as energy is there, I don't care what they play.
But I'm not giving any George's Creations any positive energy this morning after he wanted to slander me for talking about baseball yesterday when there are like 4 different people that called in and started the conversations. I know y'all don't want to hear about the Yankees. I tried to avoid bringing it up. I think we should play Empire State of Mind, though, in between plays.
No.
But Tony V was on, and he had 2 comments that stood out to me, Middle Tennessee Vol. The first one was that he said that they believe they have as much depth as they've ever had. And that, to me, is pretty significant considering all the talent that was just drafted or just graduated and moved on. So that stood out to me. I didn't expect him to say that on August 25th when they haven't even done fall ball yet, and the year hasn't even flipped over to where it is baseball season. So that was surprising to me. And then he commented on all 3 of the transfers that they picked up. Chase Dollinger from Georgia Southern, Matt McCormick, the catcher from West Virginia, and Seth Halverson from Missouri. He mentioned that all 3 could be first-round picks if they have that type of potential, that type of ability to be first-round picks. So those were the 2 cool things that stood out to me from Tony V. He talked about how everywhere he went this summer, people were coming up and saying how much they loved what the team did this year, and in places that he didn't expect all throughout the country, people were coming up to him and thanking him and talking about how much they loved that baseball team. So I thought that was cool as well.
Hey, that's what happens when you are the coach of Tennessee and you win. You get that type of love. Let me go to the text box. Please tell me you guys saw the remixed Rocky Top some of the players were talking about on Twitter last night. I did not. I don't follow a lot of players.
What a fake fan.
I guess. Cool.
We're just all better fans than you are.
I guess you are, man.
Do you follow Joe Milton?
No, I don't. I follow Kate Mays though, but I don't follow Joe Milton. Not yet. I'm sure I will.
Hater.
Hey man. I guess whatever. CJ Vol says, I remember when Ronnie Brown trucked Jason Allen, Williams and Brown together wasn't even fair, really. Yeah, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown, 2 running backs in the same backfield that were both drafted in the top 5 in the 2005 draft. That was crazy, man. One to Miami, the other to Tampa Bay. But yeah, if you play this game long enough, you'll get hit really hard. If you play offense, if you play defense, you'll get ran over or mossed. It happens to the best of us. CJ Vol also says former obviously didn't care about winning as an AD. He cared about the good old boy network, but not winning football games. Well, I think Coach Foreman cared about winning. He just didn't have a lot of experience being an AD. I think he thought what he was doing was helping Tennessee win. But that's where experience comes into play. So I don't think it's fair to say he didn't care about winning. He just quite frankly didn't know what to do as an AD. That's pretty natural. Someone's doing something for the first time. So I know he cares about winning, but just didn't do everything that he needed to do as an AD. I think that's pretty obvious. Is there a possibility of doing an on-campus show next Thursday open? Fans could be in attendance. Just thought it would be cool. No, we're not going to do a show next Thursday on campus. There's some things coming, but a show Thursday.
What you got coming?
Something. A little something. There's some more stuff coming, but
I'll be over here watching.
Yeah, I'll be letting the folks know here soon. It's only 7 days of kickoff, so you're gonna know here real soon. But yeah, no show on Thursday on campus, but we got some stuff coming. So just keep your eyes open. Yesterday was just a part of it, man. Yesterday was awesome with the announcement of our Tennessee Prom show and Joe Milton and Kate Mays there at Gus's Fried Chicken every Tuesday at 7 p.m. The announcement went pretty viral yesterday. It was pretty cool to see. So there's more coming. Just be patient. Just be patient. One thing we always do sometimes as fans, well, sometimes all the time we do, when we get freshman players, we want them to play right now, to contribute right now, be the starter right now. And tight ends is a position that we felt like Tennessee got really better at with some freshman athletes. Alex Golish, not ready just yet to say that they're ready. Got some talent, had to battle some adversity, but they're not ready just yet. We'll talk about that coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup, Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Let's go to the phones. It's hour number 3 here, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. 865-255-03, Iris Networks hotline. Who's that on the line there, Ben?
Volstorm.
Volstorm. Good morning, Storm.
Hollywood!
Who was that, man? It was definitely a
That's
storm
you,
around here
brother.
yesterday.
That is you.
Why?
Chris Lowe ain't got nothing on you right now.
Sir, Chris Lowe had Peyton Manning on his show.
So?
Chris Lowe got Peyton Manning on his radio show. Peyton Manning does not do radio interviews. Peyton Manning did a radio show interview for 25 minutes. He's more Hollywood than me.
Oh, Peyton Manning has free time now. He's not even playing anymore.
But still, it's Peyton Manning. It's Peyton Manning.
Who you going to have on your show?
Joe Milton, possible starting quarterback in Tennessee.
Oh!
Cade Mays, starting tackle for Tennessee. Yeah. Brent Hubbs, Austin Price, myself. Those will be the 5 on our show.
Very nice.
Nothing like having Peyton on your show, though.
I know. Since you're going to be down at Gus's, I may have to stop in.
Come on, man. I'll be there. Show starts at 7. We'll do an hour show every Tuesday.
Yep, I may just have to make it down there. Guys, when talking about the fan experience, you know, I've been going to games since I was a kid back in '85, and, you know, I'm not one of these, you know, oh, this is stupid, we should do it. I have no problem with the enhancements whatsoever. It's not going to, you know, if they do a light show, if they don't do a light show, they put up signs, they don't put up signs. That, you know, that's cool for about 2 minutes. The only thing that's going to affect my fan experience is whether or not we win the damn game.
What about before
and you're
the
right,
final
it's
score?
not an either-or situation.
Yeah.
You know, what's gonna help my fan experience is seeing that offense going.
Yep, you're spot on, Volstorm. Just like I know what your response will be, but I'm going to say it anyways. Obviously, I went to Atlanta for the Braves-Yankees games Monday and Tuesday, and I had a great time. But had the Yankees lost both games, I would not have had a great time. So, like, I feel you. And if I'm sitting in the stands instead of the press box, and like, yes, all those things that we have talked about this morning are cool, Swain. But if Tennessee's getting beat down, I don't care about those things anymore.
Right.
So
unlike Swain, I've never had a good experience at a loss.
Hey, man, after the game, I was not happy. I was upset. I didn't talk on the way home. But during the game, I had a good time. I looked over and saw my kid loving being at the game and cheering her butt off and having a good time.
Right. Well, I mean, that's different. I'm talking about my experience. Now, my kid, she would love it. She would love the light show and all that stuff, you know. But for me personally, if we lose, it's not going to matter to me.
But the experience happens before the result of the final game. It's like what Dave in Louisville was saying. Like last year, he came to the game and he was at the Missouri game, hardly anyone there, and he's basically sitting by himself, and Tennessee was winning. Like, yeah, you're happy that they're winning, but that's different than being in a stadium where everyone is cheering, everyone's loud, there's music playing, the energy's in the building, you get the light show, whatever. But like it's different. Like it's a different experience. So yeah, obviously we want to win, but like if I had to pick which environment I want, and the result's still the same whether I win, I want the energy. I want the fun. I mean, you can have both. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but I'm kind of like you when I go to the games. I focus on the game, and I can have people sitting around me. I can not have people sitting around me. I'm trying to, watch the game. A lot of people talk about the Oklahoma game being such a great experience. All I remember is a fourth quarter collapse.
Yeah, that was a hard one because the first three quarters were absolutely terrific. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, those first three quarters were as good as it gets. Even the 13 Tennessee-Georgia game, up until Pick Howard fumbled the football into the end zone, that was as good as it gets. But then you have the final result, and that definitely takes away from it a little bit.
Yep. Hey, guys, before I go, just like with the Candyman, if you mention the Detroit Lions 3 times, Triple OG Jamie will appear. See you, boys!
That might be him calling in. He said he's going to call in hour 3. That's all he talked about. I'm calling in hour 3. I'm calling in hour 3. Well, let's see. Let's see what we're going to call in and talk about. Hopefully it ain't the Lions. Goodness gracious. All right. Thought somebody was on the phone. Nope. Good.
I got dial tone when I picked up.
Oh, okay. Just wondered. Just wondered. 865-255-03. I mean, I get where Volstorm's coming from if you say you just watch the game like I watch the game, because for me, I watch it like I would do if I'm watching film. Like I watch it to analyze it, to break down. That's more or less of kind of how I enjoy the game. But I do understand that other fans watch it differently, and part of it is having fun and having a good time. But that's why I like watching the game at home, because I can rewind, I can fast forward, I can go back and look at, okay, what happened on this play? Let me watch it 4 or 5 times to see what the angle was, or hey, did you run that correct depth? Like that's how I like watching the game. That's how I see it. And I think when you play the game at this level, it's hard not to see the game that way moving forward. You just see it different. So I feel you. Volstorm.
I think that's also why I separate pregame and endgame. Like you've heard me talk this week and last week when we were talking about the light show, I mentioned that I loved it pregame, but like I didn't care about it during the game. And that's because like during the game, there is nothing that anybody can do other than the team that is going to affect my experience. Like during the game, I don't care what song you play. I don't care what lights are turned on and off. I don't care. I don't care about anything other than whether my team is playing well or not. Whether my team is playing well or not is what is going to affect my mood from kickoff to the end of the game. If Tennessee's winning, then I'm going to enjoy all of those fan experience things that are put into place way more than if they are losing. But again, like I separate pregame from endgame. Pregame, I'm all about the experiences and atmosphere and all that. But during the game, like I am an emotional fan in the sense of like during the game, all my emotions are all the way in, one way or the other.
So Tennessee is up by 1 point for 4 3/4 of the game. So 4 quarters and 3/4 of the fourth quarter. With all the stuff going on during the stadium, how are you gonna feel?
Nervous, anxious.
Are you Having a good time or not having a good time?
Against App State, I wasn't having a good time because that's a team that Tennessee should be beating down, and you're losing up until Josh Malone catches that big touchdown, and you think, really, we've got all these expectations going into 16, and you're going to lose to freaking App State before the season really even starts. You're going to end your season. All the dreams and hopes and aspirations are going to go down the drain before we even get to conference play. So, like, that game, I was not having a good time because I was worried that we were going to lose to freaking App State. But, like, the 13 Georgia-Tennessee game, I was having a great time because I did not expect Tennessee to compete with that Georgia team that year. It's all circumstantial for me and based off of expectations going into the game. Like, for Bowling Green, I expect Tennessee to blow the absolute doors off of Bowling Green. And it doesn't really have much to do with Tennessee and where Tennessee at. I know Bowling Green's a bad football program right now. Tennessee should, even given their current state, should blow them out of the water. So if it's the second quarter and really the beginning of the third quarter and it's like a 3-point game, a 7-point game, then I'm not going to be having a good time because Tennessee is underperforming. Now, if Tennessee's up by 30 at the beginning of the third quarter and we start to get into the thought process of, okay, when do you bring in Hendon Hooker? When do you bring in Harrison Bailey? Then I'm going to enjoy the light show way more.
Thoughts and prayers to the people who have a awesome time playing a team that is equal in talent, equal in record, where you're up by 1 point, you're winning first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and you're winning fourth quarter of the football game until the last 3 minutes. You're having a good time, and you lose in the last 3 minutes, and then tell yourself and tell other people that you didn't have a good time throughout the whole entire game. Just because you lost at the last 3 minutes.
I'm also different than most, and I know you've kind of fit along the same mold as I, but like the majority of people go to games to socialize. It is a social setting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
sure.
that's not me. I'm locked in from kickoff to final hornet until final hornet, final horn, final buzzer, till the clocks are all read zeros. Like I don't want to. Like I'm anxious and nervous the whole time Tennessee is in a close game, or the Steelers are in a close game, or the Grizzlies or the Yankees. When my teams are in a close game, I'm anxious and nervous because I want my team to win. So when I'm anxious and nervous, I don't really pay attention to all the peripheral stuff.
Yeah, I feel you.
Which is why I separate pregame from in-game, because in-game I'm just all focused on the game.
No, I feel you. So before the break, we teased Alex Golish and his take on the freshman tight ends. Guys are certainly athletic. Guys can run. Something that I think this group has been missing. Yesterday we did mention Jackson Lowe, and 4-star tight end coming in, but just wasn't as athletic as that I think we need offensively. Those guys were more blocking tight ends, 4 stars, but Alex Golish talked about the tight ends, and he is a tight ends coach, also served as offensive coordinator, even though there's no idea of who's actually calling plays. When Golish and Hyper was asked about it, no one really gave a clear answer, which it doesn't really matter today. We'll know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but I think we will know once we get to the game. But we expect sometimes freshmen to come in at a position where it's not already spoken for. I think we knew that no one was going to come in and take Jawan Jennings' spot at wide receiver. No one's going to come in and take, a Trey Smith spot on the offensive line. But tight end is a position that, we know Princeton fans is a returning starter, but still, we feel like the freshman tight end would come in and still be able to play, and was hopeful that they would have a significant role. And this is just an example of sometimes it's just hard as a true freshman to come in and just be on the same level as a veteran tight end, to expect them to have this big old load on their shoulders and play straight off. There's a learning curve. There's an adjustment period. Playing big-time college football is a little different than playing, tight end in high school or receiver in high school or playing a different position in high school and then moving to tight end in college. So our freshman tight ends, they will play a role, but it may not be first game of the season. It may not be the second game of the season. Still have to play their way into shape. Still got to play fast. I'm sure their heads were spinning, playing a new offense. The intensity is different. The energy is different. The physical beating that it takes on your body to play this game at a high level is different than what they were used to in high school. So it is an adjustment period for these guys. So we'll see Julian Nixon. We'll see. We won't see Trinity Bell probably anytime soon. But we'll see Miles Campbell. We'll see Julian Nixon at some point. But Alex Golich was saying that not ready just yet. Not yet. But maybe later down the line.
Yeah, and Trinity Bell is listed as a defensive lineman and spending his time with the defensive line. Julian Nixon, I thought.
When did that change?
It's been like that all fall camp.
You listed as tight end here?
Oh, well, that's listed wrong.
Yeah, he gonna play. He gonna play on the line, but for until it's changed here, I guess we'll consider him until he's healthy and he's actually out there.
Correct. That's
probably with everybody.
Why it's not changed is because he has not been out there. Just like Cayman Marley was listed as a DB, and then he's working at receiver the first week of fall camp. But I thought Alex Golich, although pumping the brakes on Miles Campbell and Julian Nixon, was very complimentary of both. If you remember a conversation we had at the beginning of fall camp, beginning of August, that first week, I mentioned seeing a player that looked like he was struggling to keep food down and liquids down, and he didn't look right. And it wasn't necessarily because he looked out of shape. It was more so he just looked like he was sick. It was Miles Campbell who I was talking about. And what does Alex Golich tell the media yesterday? That he was sick the first 2 weeks of camp. Clearly it's not COVID, or else he would not have been practicing at the same time. But that set him back. And Alex Golich has loved to hype up the fact that he's never really played a true freshman at tight end throughout his entire coaching career. He said that he's never played a true freshman tight end. He said this before fall camp began, and then spoke to Miles Campbell, looking like he's going to be the first true freshman that ends up playing at tight end. And he mentioned that yesterday, of him mentioning that at the beginning of fall camp, and had to kind of pump the brakes on that because Miles was sick for 2 weeks. That set Miles back, and that Miles is still in a good spot. Hopes that he can help down the road this season, but as of right now, he's still trying to essentially play catch up.
Yeah, I remember seeing Miles Campbell because I came back to practice on Saturday, coming back that Monday, and you had saw kind of the same thing. Miles Campbell, looked like something was going on, and there's no way that a guy that's been running with the team and conditioning all summer will be out of shape like that. Like, there's no way unless there was something else attached to it. Well, there's your details. You got from Alex Golich that he was sick, and that speaks to his toughness to be able to push through and do the best you can, because it was hot out there. It's one thing to be sick and trying to fight through that when the weather is nice and it's cool, 75 degrees, but 90 degrees, trying to practice sick, that's tough to do. So,
yes, and he was also very complimentary of Julian Nixon as well, although he was very very quick to admit that he is the epitome of a needs-a-year guy.
Mm-hmm.
Julian Nixon needs a year because he is a bigger body, needs to get in college football, SEC football, playing shape, played receiver in high school, and I've commented that I don't know how he played receiver in high school because of how big he is. And look, I get that high school kids, he can get away with playing receiver at his size in high school because very few kids are at his level to begin with. But I'm still surprised that he didn't make the transition to tight end sooner than he did, just because he has the prototypical tight end body size. When you think when you've seen him,
absolutely,
he has a good skill set. Just he has a receiver skill set in a tight end body, and Alex Golesh said he is the ultimate needs a year guy because they are now asking him to do tight end things that he's never been asked to do before. Line up on the end of the line to block things of that nature.
With your hand in the dirt.
Exactly. That
against a dude that's bigger than you.
Yes.
And stronger than you.
Run you over.
That's tough. That's tough to do. And like, I think this is an example of how it's supposed to be most of the time, where a freshman comes in and you don't have to count on him as a true freshman. He's not forced to play as a true freshman because you don't have any choice. It's good that he can sit back and watch and grow and develop and not be thrown in the fire just because he needs to play. Like, it's okay, fans, for freshmen to not play as true freshmen or to play a little bit. Like, it's all good.
Yep, it is. And he was also, although he pumped the brakes on Julian Nixon, which there were never really any real expectations on Julian Nixon. Nobody expected him to be a contributor from day one. There was that expectation with Miles Campbell because of comments that had been made in the spring about what he was doing well, and Alex Golesh's comments going into fall camp, but had to pump those brakes because he got sick for 2 weeks, and that set him back. But there wasn't those same expectations for Julian Nixon. Julian Nixon wasn't here in the spring, playing a new position, needs to get in shape. So although Golesh was quick to pump those brakes and say that he is the epitome of needs-a-year guy, he also mentioned that he was pleasantly surprised with what he has seen early on from Julian Nixon, and he anticipates Julian Nixon being a really good football player for Tennessee down the road.
D. Beckwith could be a game changer at tight end, or am I missing something that is from West Tennessee Vol on the text box? He could be if he embraced that position. I mean, you have a guy in Julian Nixon, we're just having the same conversation about a guy that played a different position in high school, playing tight end, and the reason why he is not ready today at this very moment is because it's an adjustment period for him. The physicality of the position, and D. Beckwith is dealing with that at running back, trying to get his pad level down. It will be the same hurdle for him if he went to tight end. I mean, the body type is there for Beckwith, 6'5", 225, 230-ish. I mean, he would be a perfect tight end candidate. But it's not. It's more than just about catching passes as a tight end. You got to be able to put your head in the fan and get in the pile and move people at the point of attack in the running game. And if D. Beckwith can't do that, then I don't know if moving him to tight end is the answer. So,
yep, just gotta. Tennessee is already trying to get him to embrace the physicality of the running back position. And if they're trying to do that at running back, I mean, just like we were talking about Julian Nixon lining up in front of a mammoth along the defensive line and trying to block him, I mean, how is D. Beckwith going to do that same thing if they're already trying to get him to adjust to the physicality of playing running back?
Well, here's the thing, Ben. There's 4 positions on the football field, not counting kicker and punter. There's 4 positions on the football field to where you can avoid a 10 to 15 man pile up every play. Think about it. Receiver, quarterback, safety, corner. I think those are the only 4 positions, excluding special teams, to where you can avoid being at the bottom of the pile every play. But if you play any other position, you better have it in your mind that you're gonna be in a knockout fight every 25 seconds or 30 seconds for 6 seconds. Like, you're gonna be in that pile. Because if you play running back, you're definitely gonna be in that pile if you're running the football.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the offensive line, every play it seems like, guys are peeling themselves up from the grass, It looks like a baseball team just won the World Series and they just piled up on each other and they're just trying to get up for the next play. Every play looks like that, especially in a running play. Especially. And if it's goal line or a short yard situation, oh my gosh, it's even worse. So if you're not mentally able to handle that reality, then how are you going to play? Unless you're going to lose a bunch of weight and go play receiver, or you're going to be on defense and lose a bunch of weight and go play corner. But this game is physical. And most of the time, you're going to be in that 10 car pile up. We going back to the phones?
We're going to get to Turkey Man. He wants to ask a question about
Turkey
high
Man
school
already
football.
called. You can't double dip Turkey Man.
Turkey Man's going to double dip right before we catch a break.
Turkey Man, you can't double dip.
Well, you can.
What's up, Turkey Man?
Hey, buddy. Hey, I was going to ask a question about Walter Nolan. Is that how you say his name?
Yep.
Okay. Him being the caliber he is, and people talking about the talent in Tennessee, state of Tennessee coming up, will he see an offensive lineman that would, be able to handle him or pancake him?
Nope.
And okay, that's my first question. He will not see even the playoffs. He will not see none.
Nope.
Okay. What's the difference between a good block and a cheap shot? Because I heard him say something along the lines, the only way they could stop him is how was that, Ben? He said that.
I believe the phrasing that he used was playing dirty, something along those. I can't remember his exact phrasing. I don't want to misquote him, but he was not happy about the shots that Anderson County was taking at his knees that he perceived.
So remember when Tennessee played Georgia? I want to say that was in 15 because we played them here, and remember when Brandon Cablano hit Shot Tuttle and it ended Shot Tuttle's season. It was a low pillback block that Shot Tuttle was not expecting, did not see. That was dirty. In the rule book, a cut block is illegal at the line of scrimmage when one offensive line is engaged with, let's say, Walter Nolan, and then another offensive lineman goes low on Walter Nolan to take out his knees. That is a 15-yard penalty. And that is, if you do it one time, don't do it anymore. But if that's something that continues to happen, where guys are constantly going at his knees, then, we start approaching that line of dirty. But Walter Nolan needs to pretty much put it in his head that he's going to see cut blocks. And when I talked to Matt Lowe, the Powell's head coach, he told me that that's something that they are working on. They're working on not only with Walter Nolan, but all of his defensive players on how to shed low blocks. Low blocks are a part of the game. It is. And you hate it when the player gets hit and they get hurt, but it is a part of the game, and it should be a part of the game if it's done legally. Defenders have to know how to shed those low blocks. So, Walter, just, hey man, embrace it. Understand that this is how this is the only way they can stop you. I don't think there's one offensive lineman in the state of Tennessee that can block Walter Nolan. No, he is number one in the country for a reason. He's a grown man. Derek Hunt, the Maryville head coach, said that to me too. He's like, "There's no one blocking Walter Nolan.
Maybe.
We know that. We understand that. We'll do our best, but you're just not going to just stop Walter Nolan.
No,
He's
maybe
too good.
Fisher Anderson from Franklin, 4-star, going to Stanford that Tennessee wanted, but he's probably the only one that has a chance.
Yeah, but
Powell's not going to play Franklin. So
you going one rep, or you talking about in the course of a football game? Because that's different. You play good players, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some.
Yep.
That's just the way it happens. If you're playing a good player for 4 quarters, I don't know if anybody's going to win that battle against Walter Nolan for 4 quarters.
No.
Swain Event, be right back.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Home service problems occur, even at the most inconvenient times, like during a health crisis. And Tiller is always here to help you 24/7. As people are social distancing and staying at home on workdays, it's an easier time to take care of home maintenance items that you feel are necessary. And we've put new safety precautions in place, like wearing gloves, avoiding physical contact, new sanitation protocols, and limiting time in your home. We're here for you.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Hour 3 here on the Swain Event is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Free Traeger wood pellet grill with the purchase of HVAC system or whole home generator. That is Hiller, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. HappyHiller.com. With the purchase of a new tankless water heater, you will get a free Yeti Tundra cooler. HappyHiller.com. Happy you will be, or the service is free. Check out the messages here on a video stream. Janelle says, Stir the Pearl is awesome. I do love him at Tennessee basketball games. He got it going on. Travis says, good morning. Good morning, Travis. Chip says, orange helmet, black jerseys, orange pants. What do you say? I say whatever. Make sure you don't look like Oregon State. Charles says, what's the deal about masks and COVID shots and proof of shots to get in at Vol football games? That's LSU. I have not seen anything about that going to Tennessee. Tennessee has said they're not doing that. So LSU, that's what they're doing. There's other SEC schools that have come out and said that's not what we're doing. So we will not ask for our spectators to show any type of proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID shot. So, Josh says, I remember the days of Big John Henderson and Albert Haynesworth. That's what I would like to see Tennessee get back to on D, and middle linebacker like Al Wilson, which I do think Mitchell is an upgrade. Oh, yeah, he's definitely an upgrade. I'm glad that Josh mentioned that about Haynesworth and John Henderson, because yesterday I was witness to a tweet that was great for Rodney Garner. I screenshot it. I'm about to send it to you, Ben. But it was on Walter Nolan's thread when Walter Nolan tweeted out his top three. And then people on his thread was having conversations about why he even has Tennessee in his top three. And hold on, I'm getting to it. Here it is.
The anticipation is killing me.
Golly, man, so many people on here, man. But anyways, there's one fan that was like, why would you want to go to Tennessee? What? Like, you would think that the player want to go to a place where he's winning. And you had another fan chime in and was like, hey, man, Rodney Garner is the coach. He wants to be developed by one of the best. And this fan just was so certain that Walter Nolan didn't want to go to a place just for a coach. And then you know who dropped in the conversation out of nowhere? Derek Brown.
I know that guy.
Derek Brown, the first-round pick of the Carolina Panthers. I don't know how he was part of the conversation.
The number 7 overall pick 2 drafts ago.
He drops in the conversation. It was like, Coach G is the reason I went to Auburn. Guess it worked out for me, okay? I was like, whoa. Derek Brown, who was coached by Rodney Garner, dropped in on the thread and says, that is the reason I went to Auburn.
I think he was Twitter searching his name because Tony Vitello's Maserati had just tweeted, was Derek Brown going up against the best in practice? I don't know. He was in an argument with a guy named JP, who I can't tell who his fandom is associated with. Looks like a Florida fan.
The Florida fans are real salty that Walter Nolan does not have them in the top 3.
Yes, because this JP guy, the Florida guy, said he has Tennessee as a top choice. Getting developed and playing for a winning team obviously isn't a priority for him. I think you said that.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Tony Vitello's Maserati, which great Twitter name. He said, have you ever heard of Rodney Garner? JP says, LOL. To go to a school solely for a position coach is frankly dumb. Who knows if he will go? Who knows if he will be there the whole time? You get better by going against the best in practice. Tennessee isn't the best, that is for sure. That roster needs serious improvements Tony Vitello's Maserati responded and said, was Derek Brown going up against the best in practice? No. Your argument is dumb. And that's when Derek Brown jumped in. It must have been Twitter searching his name because he was not tagged. And Derek Brown said, Coach G is why I went to Auburn. Guess it worked out okay for me. And Tony Vitello's Maserati is spot on. Derek Brown was not going up against great offensive linemen.
Nope.
Walter would be going up against better O-linemen at Tennessee than Derek Brown was at Auburn.
Man. Ronnie Garner.
Tennessee needs to put that on
a graphic.
On a graphic.
Not really.
Can I get on?
Don't put that on a graphic.
Yeah.
Then that would help. That would help old Brian Harsin.
Just slide in.
Slide in DMs.
Slide in the DMs.
That's all you got to do, man.
I know Walter's paying attention to his Instagram page, so slide into his Instagram DMs.
Yeah, we'll need to help Brian Harsin out any more. He's taking some lumps down there right now, man. Taking some criticism down there. All right, for Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope you have a great Thursday. 1 week away from kickoff for Tennessee, but we only got a day or two before we get college football. It is here. It is here. 48 hours or so, we get college football. But we got to wait another week for Tennessee. We are approaching game day. Hope you have a great day. Peace and love. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.